Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. Great article here from Mike over at Light Reading. I'll leave a link to it in the description so you guys can check it out. So many of you are wondering likely what T-Mobile's next phase looks like. And we got some code names, right? We got Horizon 3. That seems to be the next phase that T-Mobile is going to take on. And you guys know my belief. I think it's got to be a cable player for them to just go one time and go big and get it over with. But what else could it possibly entail that could lead us to believe that they need to go bigger, right? So Mike Sievert bringing on a COO allows him to really focus on the next phase of T-Mobile, right? So his contract is up in 2028. That's as long as they gave us guidance. They gave us guidance through 2028 where they're going to take FWA, where they're going to take wireless. But at some point, wireless for them is just going to be not enough anymore. They're not generating enough revenue on just FWA alone because they can't sell it to too many houses, right? There are some constraints and limitations to that. So 12 million is the next goal, but that's not going to give them like an explosion of revenue, if that makes sense. So they have to branch off into something else. So it's very interesting. In the high-stakes world of corporate M&A due diligence and the deep dive, no stone unturned process where companies scrutinize every financial, operational, and legal detail before sealing the deal, ensuring they're not buying into a telecom nightmare. So that's essentially why they're pulling Mike Sievert away, in my view. This is just my opinion. He's going to be behind the scenes, and he's going to be dealing with all of the paperwork and such to move forward with a bigger integration of some sort, right? We don't know what that is. But the Horizon 3 project, right? That's the rumored code name, or that is the code name per the filing. Yeah, the COO coming on board, right? All of the senior level executives are going to report to the COO moving forward. He's going to be on the next earnings call. Mike Sievert made that very clear. So that's really the next step for T-Mobile, is to look at opportunities for more revenue-driving assets and businesses. T-Mobile posted, what was it? I think it was a $21 billion revenue. Total revenue. If you compare that to Verizon and AT&T, AT&T came in at 32, Verizon almost 36 billion. T-Mobile's far off, right? And if we're just looking at wireless, T-Mobile will never get to those types of revenue numbers with just wireless. When AT&T and Verizon have another business in wireline that's producing a ton of revenue for them across the board, right? You're looking at consumer, business, and everything in between, government. It's producing a ton of revenue using the wireline asset that T-Mobile will never match until they branch off into, if you said wireline, you guessed it. They got to branch off into wireline, and that has to scale and take years for them to really branch off and produce that type of revenue. So, and what exactly might be considered under Horizon 3, we expect to hear more on how T-Mobile will look to leverage its capabilities around data and network to create new services supported by its leading brand, physical distribution, and growing digital distribution capabilities, the Evercore analyst wrote. So that is what they're predicting. We already kind of know what they're going to do with the data network. They're going to monetize it. Right, they're already doing FWA. They told us they gave us this big spiel about AI, right, with OpenAI and then NVIDIA. So they're doing that already. They're going to monetize that. They're in a digital transformation state right now. We already know that publicly. We don't have to figure that one out. The big one we have to figure out, what is Mike Sievert focused on that he had to bring a COO on board so he could focus on that? It's not that. What they're saying here, right, to leverage its capabilities around data and network, it's not that. We already know that that's in the works. We've seen it publicly. Even the millimeter wave point-to-point testing, we know publicly that they disclosed that they're doing that. They're doing that in Phoenix. So if that comes to fruition, they like what they see, they're just going to say, hey, we can add a little bit more FWA using millimeter wave. There's something bigger that Mike Sievert is focused on. You guys heard me say it. I think it's cable. I think it's a cable play that they're focused on. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think T-Mobile continues to smaller JV players on fiber and just grows that way? They have 2 deals coming this year, Metronet Lumos, that gets them 15 million homes passed. The problem is with that, right, it does have its pros and its cons, but T-Mobile is still splitting the revenue on those, right? They're only 50% owner. Even though they become the brand, they still have to pay someone else. They're not 100% getting the owned, right, money, right? They're not getting 100% of the revenue. They have to split. They have to pay someone else. They're leasing back the fiber. So that, I still like the own and operate. I think that's what T-Mobile needs to shoot for. They got to get out of that mindset. We lease everything. We lease everything and it works. They have to start at some point owning and operating. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you think the next phase of T-Mobile is. I saw some people name banks that they could be into buying banks. I don't know what that would do for them. But I think cable is probably more realistic now than ever before. So let me know your thoughts. Like, share, subscribe. See y'all in the next one. Peace.